Everyone, how's everybody doing? Hey, this is Rick over at Hit Run Candlesticks. For those that don't know, Ed, thank you very much for inviting me over on this Tuesday, which I'm here every Tuesday doing this little presentation, just kind of showing my take on the scanner and maybe answering whatever questions I can answer and how I might trade using the scanner. Joe, are you in here? Did Joe make it in yet? I believe it was Joe asked me if I could show how to use the scanner, how to use the scanner. And I want to make sure that I get his info, what exactly he wanted. And this actually works out. Well, hey folks. I've been talking for a minute and I just realized the mic was off. So let's try this again. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. And Ed, thank you so much for inviting me over and having me here on Tuesdays doing this little presentation. I appreciate it. I can't even thank you enough for the work you've done on the scanner and what it has done for me. I truly appreciate it. Hey, Joe, I'm glad to see you here. Joe, was it you that asked me the question? How can I show how to best use the scanner for somebody that just downloaded it? What was it, you that asked that question? Yes. Can you repeat that question or ask me again exactly what you asked? I just want to make sure I get it all covered, what you wanted there, because I think that's a great idea, and I think the timing is perfect because starting the 1st of September, I will be a new trader downloading the scanner, and I'll explain that in a minute, and I'll explain exactly what I'm going to do that, and so we'll certainly do that. So here's the question from Joe. Joe's saying I'm new to the scanner. And it can be overwhelming. Yes, sir, it can be overwhelming. If you try to bite off more than you should be biting off at one time. And then there's always a question of, well, how much is too much at one time? You do know, and I want to mention right away here that if you go to the main app up here under pre-configured alerts, you click on that little down arrow, there's some favorite alerts to get started with. After you get more comfortable with the scanner, you can tweak them a little bit, make little changes for your personality, but that's a great place to start. I would say for somebody to come in here and start building alerts and you've just downloaded it, I would say that's a huge mistake, because that's biting off more than you can chew. Definitely biting off more than you can swallow. So I would stick with these pre-configured to start with, and I think that will do you just fine getting started. As a matter of fact, these are the setups that I use. Now, I may have, say, number one here, the bull V-stop with 3/8 trap. I may have that one, and then I have another one that I might tweak here and there and play with, but I'm using these right here. Those are my main ones, so they're the way to go. Okay, so let me explain this. Starting September 1, I will be like a brand new trader to this, and here's what I mean. First of all, one thing that I've discovered over my time in trading, and probably more so with hit run candlesticks, is most traders that come on board, maybe I shouldn't say most, that's probably wrong, but there's traders that start with $1,000 trading, and there's traders that, here, let's do a couple of these, all right? there's traders that start with $5,000. I'm gonna do just that. Traders that start with $10,000, and then there's traders that have a lot more money starting trading. Okay, and all the numbers in between. Somebody might wake up one day with, okay, you've got 1,000, or maybe you've got $3,500. But you'll find there's traders all over the place. And starting September 1st, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be changing my account to where what I did here a couple years ago, taking a small amount and growing it, doubling it, tripling it, quadrupling it. That's my goal down the road. And so I have to kind of treat things a little bit different, and I'll show you some things I'll be doing, and that might help you, Joe. So what I'm doing, and the scanner is going to be a tool that I don't think I could trade without it. I would have to take some time off, and I would have to revamp things, and I would have to do work that I haven't done in years because of the scanner, or a scanner, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. Okay, so some things I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on one of the chart patterns I'm going to focus on is a simple chart pattern, and that's charts that do this right here. So here we go. So charts, I'm never going to buy charts that are down here under those red dots. That's number one. And I can set the scanner up so that I'm only looking at charts that are above those red dots, or rather above the green dots. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm only going to trade charts that have rallied and pulled back, or what I like to call a PBO, pullback opportunity is what that is. PBO stands for pullback opportunity. There's actually a scan for pullback opportunity. But there's also a scan that we use called the 3/8 trap, which is a version of the PBO. It may not, you may get some stocks that show up on the PBO scan, and they may not show up on the trap scan, but they're just so close. But use them in conjunction with each other, use them side by side, and you'll have more trade ideas than you can possibly trade with. Now, I don't want to scare anybody off thinking you're going to have thousands of them. No, you won't. And I'll show you something I'm going to be doing to limit that down, because, I'll explain a little bit more in a sec. So that's the type of charts I'm going to be looking for right there. And that's the type of charts that I want to see. Now, let's see what TCOM looks like. TCOM is up. I just created a new alert, and I need to adjust it up a little bit. Yeah. So I'm going to back off that one. And let's look at QCOM. There we go. See, QCOM is what I'm looking for. Let me go to my PBO. Where did it go? Yeah, and QCOM is on my... Here, why don't I do this? Let me move this over and move this over. Probably should have done this already. And this is my PBO alert. And this is my number one. This is, if you pull it off the app or the pre-configured, this is it right here, the number one. And we'll take a look at this. Now, and these two are going to be very close, but they may pull in charts that the other one doesn't. We'll see. But this is the kind of thing I'm going to be trading with. And one of the most important things I'm going to be able to do with the scanner is I'm going to be able to come in here and go into the properties, and I'm going to be able to change the max price. Because I don't want to see charts like QCOM, because I will not be able to trade $107 chart. Let me explain that. I started a couple years ago, January of 2018, started with $5,000. All right. Today, we're about $70,000. So from January 18th to today, it has increased that much. Well, over the next several days, which this is all going to start, be official September 1, all right? September 1. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to close that account, open another account, which really all I'm going to do is draw the money out of it. So I'm going to take $60,000 out of my account. Good for me. And then I'm going to start with $10,000. And my goal will be to turn it into $20,000, into $30,000. Now, number one, I'm going to look for $20,000 my first 12 months. Honestly, a secret goal I have will be to turn it into $30,000. But let's just shoot for $20,000, okay? Let's just shoot for that. But that's kind of my secret goal for right now, all right? So you guys keep that a secret, okay? So with $10,000 in my account, and so I'm speaking to people that have a smaller account, okay? And so if you have a smaller account, you don't need to see QCOM. You do not need to see it. Don't waste your energy on it. So what I'm going to do is come in here and then go to properties, there we go. And I'm going to go to the price alert here, and I'm going to change that to $65. So max of $65. That's all I'm going to be able to trade for now. Now, as the account grows, I can scale that up a little bit. But right now, all I can look at is stocks with up to $65. So I'm looking at my user-defined list, which you can use the S&P 500. I want to share something with you guys. My list is not magic. It's not anything super duper. It really isn't. Really, what I've done is I've just combined all the S&P 500, the CBOE 400. I've just combined them and made one list is all. Pretty simple to do. So there's nothing magic there about it, okay? So anyway, I'm going to do this. I've got everything set on the daily. I don't fuss with intraday charts. I don't mess with that. So there's the only change I'm going to make right now. And then I'm just going to click OK. And the chart is going to go black like this until everything scans through. And then I'm going to watch for it. And as I see these, whoops, let me fix this real quick so it stays on top. There we go. So as I see charts pop through my alert, now remember, my alert is already set for a couple of things that I require. For instance, I require a trend, already set for that. I require a rise, already set for that. I require a pullback within reason, and that's where the trap comes in, already set for that. Everything's already set. Now all I've got to do is sit back here, drink a cup of coffee or Coke or whatever you do, and just wait for this to alert me. And when it alerts me, then I look at the chart. I want to visually look at the chart. I'm going to make sure the chart meets even more conditions from my eyes, a visual. And then if it does, then I'm going to go over and I'm going to look at the option chain, because I'm only going to trade options on this. There's no way in the world to take a $10,000 count and double it in 12 months trading stocks. I suppose it could happen, but the probabilities are just insanely slim. So I will trade only directional options, puts and calls. But the scanner here, I'm going to wait for it to tell me when to start looking at charts. And I don't need to look at a chart until that happens. Now, this is not the only scan I'm going to use. I've got a couple other favorites, like the T-line bounce, for instance. That is a favorite of mine. And another one that I kind of like is it's not actually up there in the pre-configured. We can put one up there, but, well, I take that back. I think no, it's not. It's not. Let me make sure this stays on top. There we go. Is a stock that's near the 17 exponential moving average. So see how that's near? Well, that might be a trade that I take. Now, of course, the price is all wrong. The price is all wrong. So now maybe we can find one in here. 72. I suppose that could be close. I'd have to go look. And the reason I'm looking for charts at, say, $65 or under, with that, under $65, there's a good chance that I can buy 2, maybe 3 contracts. 2, maybe 3 contracts. And that's why I'm choosing that number. I suppose I could bump it up, but I would only be able to buy 1 contract, because I can only spend so much money per position. And the really cool thing is, like I said, I could just sit here and wait for this to pop up and show me. I don't have to be banging through charts. I don't have to be doing anything like that at all. I really, really don't need to do that. I just need to look for charts that meet my criteria. Now, this one's wide. It meets my criteria, but no way am I going to trade that chart. XLC here, let's look at that. There we go. Why couldn't we trade? I mean, who would not trade this? Don't worry about price. Maybe price is too expensive for you. Maybe you only trade price over $500. I don't know. But who would not consider that right there? And that's all I need right there. That's it. Sorry, Jason. Sorry I missed your question here. Will we be able to follow you in September through HRC, or will you create some type of separate new room? No, there's no separate room. It will all be just like we are now. It's just that I'm starting out with a new balance in my account. That's all. Yeah, that's all. So, Joe, is this kind of what you're looking for? Which charts to go for, or which scanner windows to go for? There you go. And these are my favorites. I think the rounded bottom breakout is one to take a look at. And once you get comfortable using the scanner, nature will take over, and you will start to play around. You'll come over here and you'll tweak it. You may add this, you may add that. And that'll all come with time as you learn how to use it. But somebody that's just downloading the scanner for the first time, don't get creative. Just take the charts we use already. These are our favorites. They're up there. And just go with those. And you only need a couple of alerts. Now, I know what'll happen is some people are a bit, you're used to seeing lots of charts all day long. That's what you do. So it'll take a little education, a little getting comfortable to not doing anything, just waiting. Just wait till that chart comes up and then go look at it. That will probably be the hardest thing there is. Now, with that said, I would like to share that today, overall in the market, is kind of a slow day, it looks like. The market is just not moving very much. So the scanner windows are not going to move. They can only move when something's put into them. They can't manufacture trades for you, and you don't want that. So And I will also be looking at bearish trades as well. There's a bearish trap here. Let's see, I'll move this over. Here's the bear trap. Let me make sure. Oh, it is on top. So I might look at something like J&J. See, that's setting up for the bearish trap. Or PCG setting up for the bearish trap. Those are things I'll look for, which there's not too many good ones because there's just nothing out there in the market that I would be shorting right now. I see that KWEB showed up near the 17. Let's look at that. Man, that's what I'm looking for right there. Now, I'll consider that trade now that it showed up on the scanner. Now, see, Joe's asking, the names you have at the top of your scanner window, windows, do not match the drop-down list. You change them. I change them, yes. I change them. Live Trading Alerts have named them what they want to name them. I name them something different, usually a little more shorter names, and a little more exactly what they are to me. So I'm just looking at charts near the 17 here, or number one. The number one is not that it's my favorite, super favorite. It just means that it was actually the first one put on the drop-down list. Now, the V-stop / trap, that tells me everything I need to know. This is set up where we're above the V-stop and we're a trap, so a 3/8 trap. Anytime I use the word trap by itself, guaranteed a 3/8 trap. If it's a different trap, I will name it. For instance, if I wanted to look at something that was trapped between the 3 exponential moving average and the 10 simple, I would do that. I would name it a 310 trap. And I somewhere I have one like that. I have more than one trap, and you can, once you get used to using this, then it's easy to make another one. So number one. What are the other two? You mean these? These aren't, I know this one is not in the other, is not in the drop down, Joe. This might be, I don't think so though, but these are just ones that I've made. I can, later today, if you want, I'll show you how to make it. We can build you one, okay? I don't want to take the time today build one, but I'll definitely show you in the room there. So YNDX, here we go. See, we're under $65 now. I'm liking that. We may have found buyers coming in here. So this is exactly how I'm going to use it. And we'll just, something like that. All I want to do is put some line up there to give me depth into the trade. I know that if we get below that line, I'm not going to be happy here. I could also put a horizontal line in here. If we get below 56.99, I'm not going to be happy. But right now, this is good risk reward to me. And I'm getting these alerts now here. They're really starting to come up. I'm getting these alerts without any work whatsoever. And they're doing exactly what I've asked them to do. This one here, I only want charts that's near the 17. And I believe I have this set up so that I only want charts that are showing me a white candle or maybe a green candle in what some folks may be using. So in other words, I want to see a bullish candle. And that's what I'm going to go after, charts that look like that. Take a look at SE. See how we've moved down to the 17? And see how these have all, they've rallied up and pulled back. That is part of the mechanism in there. And that's what I want to see. I see Qs. Qs are moving up. See, I'm going to get rid of all that. See how this has moved up and pulled back right in my area here. And see, I don't need to be trudging through thousands and thousands of charts till I find that right one. You can build it all in this area here. So I was asked something the other day, because the fact of it is, the scanner, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, the scanner is $147 a month. There is a 14-day trial on it, so anybody wanting a 14-day trial, that's available as well. I guess a person has to decide what's it worth to trade. And even with this $10,000 account I'm setting up and I'm going to trade with, and the same thing is true with the $5,000 account that I did January of 2018. In any business, we have a cost of doing business. For me, my costs are the scanner. I use TC2000. That's a cost. I don't get that for free. Wish I did, but I don't. And then you may have a membership to a trading room. All right. So we're just going to write room. So whose ever trading room you might trade it, and maybe you don't. Okay, fine. So I'm looking at all this, whatever your cost is, depending on how many positions you have on and how much you put in a position, I find that costs are covered anywhere from 1 to 3 trading days. And there's approximately 20 trading days in a month. Well, okay, so somewhere in this 1 month, 1 to 3 days, it's going to cover all of my costs for trading. Well, that leaves nothing but dollars for the rest of the month. And I'm not saying you're going to get it all covered the first day or the first 3 days of the month. It may be somewhere in the month it'll get it paid for. But with the proper tools and with the proper setups, everybody here, everybody within the sound of my voice, and this is being recorded, it will be put on YouTube, and everybody that listens to this, there is no reason why you can't take, say, $5,000, just what I did in 2018, and move that account up to $70K. There's no reason why you can't do that. And there's no reason why you can't today, September 1st is when it becomes official. I'm going to take 10,000, and my plan is to double it, make 20K within 12 months, and secretly, now remember, nobody can tell anyone this, secretly 30K is my goal. Quietly, secretly, so nobody tell anybody, okay? But you need the right tools. You need the right tools. I personally think that is one of the main tools. You're telling Terry. That's my wife, folks, for those who don't know. One of the main tools is right there, the scanner. That's one of the main tools. And I truly believe that if your trading is set up properly, and Ed there will help you set it up. In fact, he's on every Wednesday helping people, more technical than I do. I can help a little technical, but Ed is the technical person. And he can also do just what I'm doing here. Show you maybe some of what he might feel is the best setups for maybe the current market condition, or he might say, well, he knows this person and this person and this person, and they really like this alert, or this alert. But you're going to need to find your place in this. But I would start with those alerts that's already there. Just check them out. see how they're working. And also too, what you'll find is you may be using one alert, and you may come back to Ed in a few days and say, I like this alert, but, well, he can fix it for you, because you might like something a little different, a little tweak here and there. He can help you and set that up for you to do that. Take a look at Amazon. Amazon's coming back up on the PBOV stop. Overall, an ugly chart, but to me, it's an ugly chart. But you can see how this is starting to work. Here's our rise, here's our pullback opportunity, and there you are right there. So anyway, for somebody just starting out, take it easy, take time, just use the alerts that's in the drop-down box to start with, and then you can get fancy. Then you can go in and you can start diving in to maybe the entire list. And I mean, look at all that. The list is huge. Bulls, bears, man, if you're into the cloud, there's cloud stuff there. There's candlestick signal stuff there. There's bearish, there's bullish, there's Bollinger Bands. There is so much Heikin-Ashi that you can work with. But if you're just starting out, just stop. Don't go there. Go into the main app and just use these right here. These are the ones I use. They really, really are. And I may tweak a little bit, but this is what I start with right here. So anyway, there we go. Any questions? Let's ask. Maybe I don't want to keep talking here. Anyone have any questions? That'll give me a chance to grab a drink. Also, I want to thank you for being here. I can always tell the serious traders versus the not so serious traders, because the serious traders comes to things like this. They want to learn. They're not just after the quick trade. Boom. They're after some education, because they understand that education is the cornerstone to successful trading. So thank you for being here. You guys have a leg up on so many other people who they're just waiting for that handout. They're waiting for that. Just give me the damn trade. They're the ones that's never going to make it in trading. They just really aren't, until they get smart and they realize that trading is about what they do, and it's about how you set your business up. And man, this is one of the most important business decisions a trader can make right here. So let's see. Hi, RC. Is there a scan for bounce on high volume, so the stock pulls back, then bounces and closes near or above the high? I'm going to say yes, there is, but I'm going to let Ed talk about it, okay? And I'm going to say yes, there is, because I've got some volume spike scans that I have up, and I know he can put it together, okay? But he's going to probably have to talk to you and get a chart example maybe, and get your exact particulars on it. But I am so very confident he can do it for you. Like Stein mid-July, I guess this maybe is what you're June, mid-July. I'm not sure the volume pop you see. I'm not sure what you see on the volume pop. I'm not sure that. I guess what you're looking at maybe is this right here. Is that right there what you're looking at? That might be what you're looking at. I don't necessarily see the volume, but yes. So Okay, so we are in the right area. So really what you're looking at is this pop above, and I'm going to call this a pop above the trend indicator, okay? And I'll share why in just a second. Pop above the indicator and a pullback like that. Now, Ed will have to help you with the volume spike on it. Actually, let's move this over and let me make sure this stays on top. And I can't guarantee this is the one, but this is number 8 on the drop down box, and this is the Trendicator flip trap. See where it says that? Trendicator trip flip trap. Again, this is what I call it, okay? But it's number 8, and what this does, it looks for stocks that rallies up above. See how we've been below the trend indicator? See how we're above the trend indicator and now we're in the trap? That's what this one looks for right here. Facebook. Let's go look at Facebook. See how we've been below, which I may have this adjusted out a little far. But see how we've been below, how it pulled up, and then pulled back into the trap, and that's where it is right now. And BIDU. There we go. This is actually what I would call perfection, actually. See the downtrend? See how the trend indicator's red, and see how it popped up, and now we've pulled back. Maybe that's what you're looking for. And I would start with number 8 here, number 8. And then get with Ed, and then I'm sure Ed can help you put some volume in there if you want, that volume pop, if you want that in there. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Oh, let's see. You use number 8, but you want to scan stocks number 8, deep pullback with 50 or more, 50% or more volume. Deep pullback with 50%. Oh, yeah, and it'll help you set that up. I think that will be relatively easy, RC. Nick is asking, can you explain to me about the alert part of the main scan, like where you can add numbers like price? Oh, okay. Good question. Great question. All right. So, okay, let's take the example of me, for instance. I won't be able to trade here. Well, I'm starting now as far as I'm dwindling my account down, and I'll be pulling money out of it at the end of this week. And starting September 1, I won't be able to trade $127 stock. I know this. With the amount of money I'm starting out with, I can't do it. So I'm still going to use the alert, but what I'm going to do is go into properties, and I have determined that I want to look for stocks under $65, okay? So what I'm going to do is go over here to price alert and see there's a minimum and maximum column. Price alert. I'm going to come over here and type in $65. So the max will be $65. So I can look at the S&P 500, I can look at the NASDAQ, I can look at the Russell if I want, CBO 400, CBO 400, the all symbols in LTA, my own list, doesn't matter. I have now put that limitation on it. Everything here will qualify. Everything will qualify. But it will only alert me now on stocks that are below $65. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there's not going to be many show up today. I can tell you that right now. And we'll let it clear, and then we'll go there. There's 7 in here. So I don't know if you can see it. That right here. It says there's 7 stocks that qualify. So let's do this. So here's the 7 stocks that qualify for what I've asked it to do. So let's take, well, there's BIDU, okay? So you're probably wondering, well, why is this qualifying? It's over $65. This is just on the qualifying list that meets the top end criteria. In other words, that has flipped over from red to green, and it is in fact in that trap area. It will not alert if it's over $65. So BIDU, although it's in the list, it will not alert because I've set up the alert to only show me stocks under $65. So that's how I'll use it. And let's see, let's go look at what else is in here. The alert type, you know what? Honestly, I don't use any of this stuff in here. This is the only other one that I use. If I want to see stocks that meet this criteria under $65, but maybe making a 2-day high, I just put a 2 right there. Now, I don't use that too often, not too often. There may be some cases, but what we're looking at here today, they're not anything I want to look at. Outside of that, there you go. There you go. Let's see, George. I hope that was helpful. Oh, you know what? And let me do this. I want one more thing, and then I'll come back to George. Robert, you said a price range. So maybe it's maximum 65, and maybe it's minimum $5. So there's the price range right there that I would be doing. Okay? Now I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to keep the $5, but I am going to keep the 65. Okay, George, do you have a specific scan you use? There we go. When the stock is on your hot list and you want to be alerted when the buyers are stepping in. Actually, yes and no. It's probably the most easiest scan you'll ever see. And let me show you what that is. Let me make sure this stays on top. There we go. Let's right click and let's go into properties. And you can see that there's no scan at all. None. I do not want to scan for anything. However, what I want to do is down here, I want to see new highs and new lows. That's all I want to see. I don't do anything intraday, just new highs and new lows. That's all I want to see. And nothing up here. Okay? Thank you, George. Thank you. Yes, it was because I was confused. Okay. Nick's confused. Maybe we can you explain to me about the alert part of the main menu? Like the where can you add numbers, like the price section. I think we just did that, right? I think we just did that. The price section, right down here. Under alert window fields and filters. If you want a maximum price, which if you can't trade Apple, then don't look at Apple. There's other things you should do, and I'll show you what to do maybe. If you can only trade stocks a maximum $65, or maybe you only want to trade stocks less than $25, we'll put it in there. And maybe you want to trade stocks only over $5. We'll put it right in there. Now what you want to do, if you want to look at stocks like Apple, for instance, if you want to follow those, there's a difference between I might trade from this window and I might trade from this window right here. Well, I have another one that has all the stocks I follow. I just call it the big dogs. You can have one window that you don't particularly trade from, but you want to see what's moving. Now, I like this idea because I can look at this and I can tell you the breadth of the market at any given time. And all you're doing is looking at green arrows versus red arrows. And that gives you a feel of what the market is doing at this moment in time. So, but when it comes to your actual trading, I would only look at charts you are going to trade. That's it. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up unless anyone has any burning questions out there. And if you don't, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up a little bit here today. And I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, Ed will be right here. And he's here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. To answer. It really gets into the weeds, technical stuff if you want to do that. Help you set up scans. Also, it's a great time to learn about new stuff coming out. That's how I learn about new stuff. You know, I've got to go over there and listen in for new alerts that are put in, updates maybe, changes, things like that. So, all right, I want to urge everybody, follow along. I will be using the scanner. The scanner is one of my main tools. It is probably my number one tool when it comes to placing that trade. So without the scanner, I would not know what trades to place. But because of the scanner, I know what chart patterns I like. I know what chart patterns works. I know what price action I like and what price action works. And we can set that up in the scanner. And it's because of the scanner that I'm able to come on and talk about that $5,000 account that has grown. And the scanner is giving me the confidence to do it again, starting in September, starting with 10,000 this time, and the confidence that I'm going to double that account right there. And it's really, this tool right here is what helps me make that happen. Now, just because you have this, it's not going to guarantee that's going to happen. You've got to be a trader yourself. There's some rules you have to do as a trader, but without this, man, it's tough to do. And I think this is just the coolest thing. So you guys all have it. You know, it sounds like I'm trying to sell to you. I'm not. I'm just trying to show you that it is very doable. Hang with it. Don't overuse it. I think you can have 20 alert windows. Anyone who has 20 alert windows, I'm telling you right now, cut it in half. You don't need 20 alert windows, and all it will end up doing is messing you up. You don't need that. You really don't. Okay, here I wanted to get out early, and I'm just talking on and talking on and talking on. All right, I'm going to say I'll see you guys later, all right? Ed, thank you again for having me here. I appreciate it, and we'll see everybody hopefully later today, and if not, I'll see you next Tuesday about this time, okay? Thank you very much for being here, everyone.